The Assistant Commissioner in charge of professional commands is Brett Guerin. He has been referred to IBAC, and he's in the studio with me. Mr. Guerin, thank you for coming in.
Good morning, Neil.
Guilty?
Yes.
Why?
I'm very passionate about this organisation. Let me go back, and can I preface what I'm going to say to you by saying that this is in no way justifying what I wrote. The language that appears in the Age this morning is, I think they use the term vulgar. It's certainly crude, coarse. It's not the type of language that I want my mother to read about Neil and my daughters, but of course they have, and there's one person to blame for that, and you're looking at him right now.
Well, you refer to, well, metaphorically, things being stuck up poor mullet's arse.
Yes.
In other words, he's been defeated.
Language that was inappropriate for that. Language people use at a barbecue, but language that I would imagine most people would not expect from someone like me, particularly, in the role I have. But to answer your question, why, I was Christine's chief of staff for a while in 2008. I saw some of the harm and damage he caused to her and others. This is Paul Mullet over a number of years. And I guess my default situation is when I see an argument being made that's not fair, I do tend to weigh in and try to provide facts and bring some balance.
But under a fake name.
Well, yes, that's right. Again, I shouldn't have done that. The reason I did it under a fake name is clearly if I'd gone in under my own name, it would have been associated with Victoria Police, and that would have been the story. The mistake I made, and which I am very regretful for, of course, is the type of language. I shouldn't have got down that low to
But it's not
engage
just the language. You've played politics. A message to Matthew Guy. Mr. Guy, name the repeat murderer who did not serve jail time under the Andrews government. That's after a Matthew Guy press conference.
That's right. And that's
a political statement.
Yes, and if I'd said that under my name of Brett Guerin on the internet, it would have been the story. But I think to a degree, I've got a right to public comment as a private citizen. But look, I'm not here to defend.
But not as a private citizen. You've invented a name.
That's right. That's right.
Isn't that cowardly?
You know what? Some people might say that, Neil, and they would have their view on that.
You've also gone after former Chief Commissioner Cal Blair and his organisation. Now, Cal Blair, agree with him or not, is entitled to do what he's doing.
He is, absolutely, and I thought, and I'll be subject to others' views, of course, but I thought the comments I made were quite reasonable. They were views contrary to theirs. I didn't abuse him, and I know you in your introduction you described it as trolling. I'm not sure expressing a view contrary to an author is trolling. I expressed my views. Yes, I did do it under a pseudonym because I knew that if I'd used my own name, it would have become Victoria Police's position. But look, I don't want to appear as if I'm trying to justify what I wrote in relation to the article that is the basis of the headline this morning. It was wrong, and I'm very embarrassed about it. I've humiliated myself by doing that.
I'll read more of it because I need context. Sure. Master fisherwoman Chrissy, being Christine Nixon, just gutted him, being Paul Mullet, and stuffed a nice prawn up his filleted arsehole.
Not nice. Crude, inappropriate.
And what about the political comment at Matthew Guy? Why? Why that?
So I didn't remember that, to be perfectly honest, Neil.
You think it was you, though? It's under that name.
Oh, yes, I don't resile from that.
You don't remember
but again, I talk about, we've all got, I guess, a right to make a political comment. That wasn't abusive. That wasn't harassing. It was a reasonable question, I thought. That if I used my own name,
But hang on, assistant commissioners and commissioners. Just this week, I asked Graham Ashton about a political matter, and he said, no, I won't get into it was the speed limits.
Yeah.
We won't. I'm a police officer. It's not appropriate to talk about political matters. So you shouldn't have done it.
No, I shouldn't have. And, the lesson I've learned out of this is that sometimes you've got to let stuff go. My default is to jump in, I guess, try to put some balance to an argument by putting some facts in, which is not always possible to do it under your right name when you're in a position like me. But you know what? Sometimes you've just got to let things go, Neil.
You had to go at firefighters as well?
Yeah.
Firefighters union?
Well, firefighters union. I've got close friends who are firefighters, and I'm not trying to blow this off as not important. It is. I've reached out to firefighter friends of mine, and
well, you're saying they can fight fires, but they weren't too good at thinking.
That's right. Well,
I mean, that's gratuitous. I know that is.
It is. I take your point.
But okay, when were you doing it?
Oh, I think it was October. I can't remember the date.
But you're sitting at home doing it? You're sitting in the office?
No, at home. Yeah.
Some of them are going at 8:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Monday, the 8th of May, 2017, 8:45 a.m.
I can't remember whether I was on holidays then, Neil, or working from home or whatever. But I don't remember.
But it's important if you're using a police computer.
No, it would have been a police computer.
At 8:45 in the morning?
No.
Sure?
No. Yes.
So you think you must have been on holidays?
Well, I don't remember.
The others, 31st of August 2016, 10:27 and 7:45. 10:27 a.m., 7:45 p.m.
I don't know where I was or what I was doing at the time, Neil, other than being on the computer.
2017, 6. Isn't that crucial? I mean, if you have been using, and here's another one, 8:48 a.m. on the 8th of May 2017.
So
that's last year. Sorry, 2016. Yep, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? The matter's been referred to IBAC. So I haven't come here this morning to try to preempt what they may do, but I've come here to give you and your listeners a response that I think they're entitled to in relation to the matter in the Age this morning.
So you're ashamed of it?
Yeah, I am. Look, you know, it's crude and coarse language, and you know what I'm most ashamed about is that my mother and my daughters have read it, Neil, and you know the badge that you're looking at now says Assistant Commissioner. Well, my job is to assist Graham Ashton, and I don't think I've assisted him in the slightest by engaging in this type of behaviour.
Do you think it will continue to say Assistant Commissioner?
Well, I hope so, but that's a matter for Graham Ashton.
Will you step down while the inquiry is held by IBAC?
Well, I'll take guidance from the Chief Commissioner, Neil.
Is it appropriate that the head of ethical standards